Hello, hello, hello. Back with another New Yorker short story. This one coming from November the 19th, 2018. We take a big jump from the 2016 New Yorker of last time. In this one, what did I think? Oh, there was a thing on like the films about Vincent van Gogh. They talk about that. Saying having Kirk Douglas acting the hell out of Vincent van Gogh, or you've got all the different variations of things. Kind of like why is Vincent van Gogh just such the kind of the magnet for stuff like that? I mean, a part of it is like madness in art and like how they mix together, especially in popular imagination of like being mad makes your art great, whereas probably being mad just gets in the way. And it's a miracle that it's a miracle that you get anything done at all. Other than that, I'm going to read a little thing about Andy Warhol's Revelation, and probably read the things about the read the movie reviews. That's the big things that I usually go for. But let's get on to the fiction, which is Show Rcnt Some Love by Sam Lpsyt. We're going with Sam Lpsyt. Show Rcnt Some Love, which is sort of a hashtag me too story, told from the perspective of Isaac, whose mentor and kind of for a while stepfather, Mike Maltby, has finally fallen from his head of a kind of an advertisement company. The company got bought out, and the revelations came to mind that he had been harassing, bullying, groping women in his company, and that has cast him out. And Isaac, as a nice guy, has had to kind of deal with being connected with him and trying to kind of navigate that. At the same time, navigating his way by a couple of homeless people who, at first, he dubs Stoma and Stars. The guy he named Stoma because that's what he writes at the end of these kind of long ranty little diatribes he puts on cardboard, sort of to ostensibly to kind of like beg for money, but really are just kind of angry rants about how fuck you fuckos and stuff like that. And Stars because she has tattoos, like of star tattoos on herself, on her face, which is kind of an interesting. It's the couple that maybe is actually working, that seem to be actually kind of living properly together in this world. Isaac is definitely feeling skittish and nervous as this nice guy who is connected to Mike, who's been accused of all this stuff and he's washed out. He's never coming back. But Mike doesn't think so. They have a lunch, and Mike's like, "Hey, yeah, you're gonna give me some like little bit of freelance work. You don't have to bring my name into it. I'll just work my way back in, resume my professional life." And Isaac is like, "That's never going to happen. You are never coming back. You've got the toys that you got, but you're never going to be allowed back in the sandbox." And, Mike's like, is screw you. And, it reacts with anger. And he has this thing of, "Listen, Isaac, I know exactly who the fuck you think you are. I don't know exactly who the fuck you think you are, but I'll tell you what you're not. You're not a real person, all right? You're not a dynamic individual. You're not a font of creativity and innovation. No, you're a weak, backstabbing pussy. And you want all those cunts over there to think that you're some kind of good guy, but the truth is you're just too scared to ever let your feelings or desires show. And you're glad to see me go down, not because it's about the time the oppressed were punished, but because it kills guys like you to see guys like me enjoying our fucking allotment of years on this planet, because it is utterly impossible for you to enjoy yours. I never did anything so bad. I never forced anybody to do anything. And don't tell me about power in the workplace. That's all that exists in the workplace. That's all the workplace is for. For some people to exercise their power to do what they want, to create what they want, to profit how they want, to experience pleasure and joy, or at least a momentarily sensation of anxiety, how they want. All kinds of people, all kinds of power. What the hell do you think capitalism is? Or America? And that's the dark, horrible truth. Maybe it's too late for you to gain anything from this knowledge, but you would do well to make sure Molly, who is his daughter, understands, because this world is getting more savage, more unforgiving every fucking day. See you around. So it's a little damning diatribe of the nice guy Isaac. You know, and it's one of these things of, you can see the kind of the mixture of like, you know, well, look, yeah, Isaac, people in general, we all have desires, we all have wants, but it's interesting, the people who get power and then use that to just take what they want, whatever they want, regardless of however anyone else feels or whoever anyone else's consent is. There's also just that thing of, well, capital, isn't that what capitalism about? It's getting what you want. You know, so is indictment of capitalism, I mean, is a capitalist society the only kind of society where people are oppressed, where women are abused by men? Because this is, you know, basically it's male over female, male desire over female consent, you know, personhood. So there's that, and there is a thing in here of just about character, about, like, you know, is Isaac at the end, is he a real person? There's a thing here where he has that interaction with Stoma, or as he turns out, he's I think Donald and Beth, which his daughter Molly knows because she's actually talked to him before, and he's now getting into these interactions with him where Stoma's a lot of times is threatening him with a lead pipe. It's very caveman brutish that way, of like another alpha male, even though he's a street guy, he's totally an alpha male who's like, I will fuck up your shit if you mess with my shit, kind of guy. And you know, Isaac's, it's like, you know, he gives him a 20 and says, like, think that's enough? It's like, oh, here's another 20, and it's like, you know, it's like, are we even? And Stoma's like smirks at him, and it's like, are we even? I'll let you know when we're even. And it's like, someday soon, this is Isaac thinking to himself, someday soon he'd be a character like his mother, or Stars, and Stoma, like everybody else. Either nobody was real or everybody was. That was the problem. Or maybe it was the solution. And there's this idea of, like, you know, there's character in a couple of senses. There's a character in a story. There's being a eccentric character. There's being a strong character, someone who's like, you know, you're a forefront person. You're a person who kind of projects yourself, or you're someone who, like, or are you not a character? You're someone who just kind of melds into the background like Isaac does. But there's also the idea of having a character of having kind of a strength of your convictions, of having convictions, I guess. And there's very much kind of a question in this story whether Isaac really actually has convictions, or if he's just kind of washing in the wind how things go. He rejects Mike, but is he just rejecting Mike because that's what everyone around him expects him to do, so he's just kind of going along? Or does he actually have the strength of his convictions? There's Mike's charge to him that, you know, you're not like happy that I fell because it's the right thing and the oppressed people are finally not going to be oppressed anymore. You're happy because you just hate it to see people who take what they want get it and you don't. Which, you know, so it's a good mix there, and it's not just like all men are pigs, or you know, or all men are secretly sex perverts too. There's also just a sort of a thing of like, who's got the strength to kind of stand up, and it's like, I think there's probably an argument to say that, like, there's not actually that many people who do have the strength to stand up. You know, stuff like Me Too has been happening for a long, long time, and both men and women have watched it happen and let it happen, and have not stood up for it. So there's sort of that sort of thing standing in of Isaac isn't just a male character. This is where he's coming from in it. But yeah. So that is Show Rcnt Some Love by Sam Lpsyt. Sam Lpsyt. Show Rcnt Some Love. Interesting story. All right, I will leave it there. More videos later.